Hey everybody, welcome back for day 18 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you guys are having a great day and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. So, let's get into 100 Days of Halloween and what I'm doing. Because we do have some new people here and we're going to catch you up real quick. So, my friend Rainee over at the Woolly Llama Shop, she will be linked in the description box, was talking to me about wanting to make a Halloween blanket, and I myself had been wanting to make one, just haven't been able to the last couple years because life stuff is always busy. So her idea was to do it in bite-sized pieces, meaning 6-inch by 6-inch squares, and either do them in Halloween colors, designs, add appliques, things like that, which is perfect when everything is busy, right? And you have multiple projects going on. You can do little bite-sized pieces by doing 6-inch by 6-inch squares. So, but we are doing a square a day for the 100 days. And at the end of it, we will have 100 squares, fingers crossed. And by putting those together, once you throw in the join, by having 10 across and 10 up and down, you will have your 100 squares. So that will make this Halloween blanket of squares about a little over 60 by 60 inches. So about 5 foot by 5 foot. And we are using scrap balls, partial skeins, doing them in fun themes, fall themes, colors, designs. It just depends on what kind of squares we find. We found some really cool ones with designs in the center that did not need an applique, things like that. And as always, if my square has an applique in the center or it's a certain designed square, I will put all the information in the description box. Try and link the tutorial or the blog page that said patterns are on. But if I freehanded it and there is no pattern, I will also put that in there so that you are aware that you can't go scouring the internet for it. But anyhow, so we are on day 18. We have finished our first 10. Now we are working on our second group of 10. And I'm not going to go over the first 10. I'm doing a shorter video to go over those. And then we will go over what we have done so far for our second 10, and then we'll show you today's square for day number 18. So for day 11, real quick, I did this candy corn, and the candy corn is actually free-handed. I did see a lot of tutorials and patterns online, but they weren't quite the size that I wanted for my square. I wanted something a little bigger. So I just kind of free-handed by using the yellow, orange, and white. So that was mine, and I have not been writing these down, the ones I'm free-handing. So there was that one. And then day 12, I did this little witch gnome. And the only changes I made was I just did a little circle in white sparkly yarn, and that has her crystal ball. And I did not like the hat that was on this tutorial. So was it a tutorial or whatever day this was on, which is day 12. If you go back to that video, the information for this is in the description box. At this point, I'm losing track of what was a tutorial of the ones I used and what was like a blog post with a written pattern. But I did change the hat. I didn't care for it. It was too small and too skinny. So I free-handed my own. So that was day 12. Day 13, I did this spider, which was a tutorial, and it's on day 13's video in the description box. And of course, for day 14, if you have a spider, you have to have a spider web. So this, I think, was also, this may have been the same one. So just check day 14. Day 15, I used Red Heart Super Saver in neon stripes. I think that's what it was. Neon stripes, maybe. I will have to look for the ball band again. And I was thinking about putting an applique on it, but I liked how the design came out. So I don't want to do an applique and cover it up, because then that'll kind of take away from all the colors in it, because I am using a lot of these bright neons. So I decided after that I was going to leave it as is. So there was that one. That was day 15. Day 16, I did my little kitty silhouette in front of the moon on a branch. And this was just a granny square tutorial that circle in a square. And for day 15, the information is in the description box on where to find this. I freehanded the kitty cat and the branch and just added some little sparkly white yarn for stars. And there was that one. Then day 17, I freehanded some candies. So, you know, with Halloween, you always have to have some treats or whatever. So I freehanded the candy. It was just a circle. And then I just made I just did stitches to make the little wrapper ends. You know how they twist them. And then this, I just did a circle in yellow. I chained and then single crocheted up to make the sucker stick. And to make the swirl, I just surface crocheted with orange. And I kind of like how it turned out, because it kind of gave it a little candy corn effect. So that was day 17. So for day 18, what did I do? Well, one of you who watches, and I'm not going to mention any names, Sam, you know I love you. She is all about some pink, especially some hot pink, bright pink, fluorescent pink, all the pinks. And every time I make something, she's always saying, I want to see it in pink. So I had some pink. This is Red Heart Super Saver Metallic. So it is sparkly, as you can see. And it is the fuchsia. And it's not quite as bright as what you are seeing it right there. I don't know if this will help. Maybe a little bit. But it is sparkly. Got a lot of sparkle. So I was like, okay, what can I make with this? And I couldn't think of an applique. So I decided to do the square with this sparkly bright fuchsia. And once I got the square done, I was like, well, what am I going to put on it? So I was thinking about it, and I was going through. I have a big sheet of paper that has all kinds of notes for appliques that I would like to make to put on some of these squares and ideas. So I was going through it, and I was like, hot pink, fuchsia, sparkly. What better to go on it but a witch's cauldron? And so I thought that, yeah, it's showing more red, but it's not. It is very fuchsia, hot pink-ish. So I decided I was going to do the cauldron with lime green goo and have some little droplets going down right there. And I did not freehand this. I was actually going to, but I found a really cool tutorial. The girl, I'm trying to think how many things are on it, but she was making these and some other things to go on like a garland. So I thought this was perfect. And the tutorial is Crochet Cauldron Tutorial, and it's in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. And it is by Molly. And I will put all the information in the description box. Hold on, I'll find it. There we go. That's what her garland looked like. The little witchy's hats and the little cauldrons. And my camera's going crazy. Like, what are you doing to me, lady? But I will put the information on the description box. And it is in 2 parts, but the videos are very quick. Very straightforward, easy to follow. And before you know it, you're all done. And it basically is just 2 parts. You have your bottom part, which is actually a circle. and then you go around and you start making one handle. You go down, make a leg, you make a leg, and you come up and you make the other handle. And this part right here, this oval, you start out with the green, it's separate, and then you trim it out in black, and then you sew it on. I just made the little goo drops going down myself. So that was my cauldron. Yeah, day 18. And I will put all Molly's links for the 2 videos if YouTube will let me. Remember, so far so good this week. I think it's allowed me to put links for everything in there and didn't kick anything. I think once it did, I tried it again and it did put it in there. So I will put the information for this cute little cauldron. I think it's adorable. And I think it goes well with the rest of all these. So yeah, we are quickly almost, we only have 2 more left for our second set of 10. Excuse me. And then we will be working on our 3rd set of 10. So today's Saturday. So tomorrow and then Mondays. And then we're done with this set. So wow, it's going by super fast, guys. But anyhow, I'm going to leave this short and sweet. I've probably yammered on long enough, and I know you guys are busy on Saturdays and Sundays, especially if you have kiddos you got to get ready for school come the beginning of the week. And I guess I'm going to tell you guys goodbye and leave you with these words. Life is not perfect, so be kind. Try and create something new every day and keep reaching for the stars and your yarn. And remember, check out Rainee and check out Sam from Memphis Makes in the description box. If you don't know who they are, you will absolutely love them. So bye for now, guys.